What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the SMT Media Network. In this video, another NBA topic. I want to discuss the team, the most important team in the Eastern Conference. And it's not the Boston Celtics. I know they're the defending champions, and I get it. They're a big market team, but they are not playing the best basketball in the NBA. That team is actually the Cleveland Cavaliers with a record of 23-4, an 85% win percentage, 7-3 in their last 10. A 9-3 record away from their home court. This team is having an incredible season. And I'm going to tell you guys why they're having such a good season and how they're having such a good season. Now, the Cavs aren't going to be talked about on national media. You're not going to see them in the discussions around those, ESPN stories, Stephen A. Snitch and all these other people. They're not going to talk about the Cavs. The Cavs aren't a big market team. They're not a sexy team because they don't have a LeBron James, or they don't have, some of these other storylines that are going around the league, such as, Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard in LA, and, some of these other random things. They don't have the Tatum, Jaylen Brown situation in Boston. Giannis, what he's doing for the Bucks, he's a star, proven champion, all those types of things. But, when we look at the Western Conference Finals, well, what's so special about what's going on out there? The Suns are in 6th place. The Warriors are in 7th place. The Timberwolves, who are just in the Western Conference Finals, they're in 8th place. Surprisingly, the Grizzlies are playing great. The Rockets are playing great. Nobody's really talking about them, right? The Mavs are in 4th. The Thunder leading the way, even without Chet Holmgren, overachieving, in my opinion, doing great. Nobody wants to talk about them either. So on the Western Conference, the Thunder are the team, in my opinion, the best team in the West. And then the Cavs, the best team in the East. And why are the Cavs the best team in the East? It's because of this guy, right? Donovan Mitchell, coming into his own as a leader. This guy is averaging 23 points, almost 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists on 45% shooting. That field goal percentage that you're seeing from Donovan Mitchell, that's counting the really, really challenging, difficult shots that only he's going to be taking on that Cavaliers team. Nobody's supposed to take those shots. That's his shots. Those challenging, difficult ones that he knows he can make. Those challenge threes, those difficult to get buckets, he's getting them, right? The Cavs are where they are because of him. Not only his ability to score, his ability to defend, his ability to lead. And his leadership is really resonating throughout the roster. Also, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has really come along now, in his, what I call to be his emerging season. Right, this is going to be his best season to date. He's finally become the player that a lot of people have talked about as potentially in the early parts of his career. This guy's averaging 18 for scoring, 9 rebounds, 2.5 assists on 56% field goal. This guy's playing smart. His defense is fantastic. He's a force in the paint. But I think offensively, he's added some wrinkles, right? Pretty good handles for a big guy. This guy's hitting threes. He's not taking a lot, but when he takes them, he's making them. New wrinkles to his game, right? So he's leveled up. You're getting contributions night in and night out from a guy like Darius Garland, averaging 20 points and 6.5 assists. Now, there are some games where he's definitely not that great, but he doesn't have to be because he's got Mobley, he's got Donovan Mitchell, right? So on the games where he can't give you as much as sometimes he's capable of, you still find ways to kind of get your points, as the Cavaliers have found contributions from other guys. Guys like Isaac Okoro, who give them that defensive kind of matchup against some of the bigger, better scorers in the NBA, those bigger guards, those small forwards. He can match up pretty nicely there. He's been able to hit some shots so far this season. Karis LeVert, who's a microwave off the bench, getting you all types of points, like super quickly. Right? We're talking about a guy who just played 19 minutes against the Nets and dropped 19 points. That's not easy to do. Not many guys can actually do that. So he's been huge this year for the Cavs. And then you have guys that have their games like Sam Merrill, right? They're definitely role players. They have their moments. They're not asked to do everything all the time, but he's been a willing defender. He's really come along as a shooter, right? Hitting his shots when he's open, right? So he's helped in that respect. And the emergence of Ty Jerome, right? Coming off the bench, running the show as the point guard, finding ways to get points, moving the ball around. And that's something I want to talk about. The Cavs are good because the ball moves around. It doesn't stick. There's not really too much of that hero ball stuff. We do see Donovan Mitchell at times kind of taking on that role, being a bit of a hero. When nobody else can score buckets, he's been able to do that. But really, all of this, everything I've talked about up to this point, the Cavs coming along defensively, the Cavs coming along offensively, the ball movement, the philosophy of the team, the selflessness of Donovan Mitchell and the rest of the guys, it's because of this guy. It's Kenny Atkinson. The players have been the same at the Cavs. Last year, this year, the roster hasn't really changed. Mike Strus hasn't even played. And we're seeing guys stepping up all the time in all these different games and all these different matchups. So what they're not telling you in the national media is the brilliant job that this guy has done. They want to talk about JJ Redick, who's supposed to be the Socrates of NBA coaching. Well, what about this guy? They want to talk about the job that the coaching staff has done at the Bucks to get things turned around. Well, how about the guy who's been doing it all year long? Literally coming in brand new to the coaching staff, right? And for the Cavs, being a brand new coach to the team. Never even knowing any of these guys, right? Little familiarity with some of the guys. New system, new philosophy, new plan. All these guys buying in. Selfless, right? It's not about me. It's not about the shine. They all shine. It's because of him. It's the culture. It's the philosophy of this guy. That's why the Cavs are winning. All the things I talked about, right? Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, they're all enabled by Kenny Atkinson. He's the guy calling all the shots. He's the CEO. He's the one running the show. It's because of him. His decisions, his plan being executed, all these guys are reaching their full potential. It's Kenny Atkinson. He's the difference maker. Don't get me wrong. I didn't have a problem with J.D. Bickerstaff. I thought he was a decent coach. But clearly the Cavs made the right decision. This was the guy for this team, and everything is working. The best team in the NBA currently, in my opinion, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can make an argument for the Thunder, and of course the Celtics are legitimate. They're the champs, right? So they are defending champs, and you're not the best until you beat the champs. But if I'm watching the way they're playing ball, the Cavs are the best team in the NBA. You might think it's a hot take. You might not agree with this. I think in terms of the MVP race, we got to start putting Donovan Mitchell in there. This guy plays both ends of the court, and he plays them both very well. If you look at that record, he's the major part as to why, right? So, in my opinion, Kenny Atkinson so far, coach of the year. Also, in my opinion, who deserves to be in the MVP conversation is Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs are the team to watch, and it's not too late. Get with the team. It's not too late. You'll look silly trying to get on this bandwagon in game 75 or game 80 as they go into the playoffs, but with the best record in the East, ready to unseat the Celtics as champions of the Eastern Conference. It's not too late. We're still in the first third or first half of the year. So go ahead and get on the team now, and you won't look stupid later.